Hello, hello. Right, this is my reflective analysis movie for the Foley. Um, so it starts off with this distorted police sound, which was recorded on my iPhone um, in Leicester City Centre. Just a random police car going by. And what I've done is I've looped it, um, and then I time stretched it as well. I bounced it and then time stretched it to create. Hold on, let me get a better view of it. To create a long police sound, and then I added echo, which is delay, a reverb. I pitched it a little bit to make it sound kind of out of tune and horrible, and then I've filtered out all the lower frequencies to give it that kind of trippy kind of effect to it. I don't know how you describe it. And then there's in the background there's like a howl, which was created by wind hitting a Tascam. And then I've made a heartbeat out of the same sound effect, but I've equalized all of these different frequencies, mainly focusing on like the lower mids, just to give it that kind of pump and horrible kind of heartbeat sound. What else is there at the beginning? Oh, so I'm not used to Logic very well. Then I created a score as well. I created a score on Reason, but obviously it's not Foley sound, it's score. So I was advised to treat it as kind of as Foley. So I've kind of done that over. I don't know how to automate EQ on Logic. I'm really unfamiliar with the program. So what I've done is I've put the score on different tracks, and I've added various different effects, like kind of old, oh well, like changing the effects. Sorry about that, can't speak. Yeah, I've kind of alternated. I've kept like EQs and delays on it, kind of giving it that kind of spaced out vibe. And then there's like laughs as well, which I recorded using a C414. I recorded my mate Dan just giggling and doing creepy laughs. And then there's screams as well. Well, there's a scream at some point, which was done the same way. And then there is breathing at the bit where it enters the building where the police are raiding these clowns or whatever. And yeah, that was just breathing, and then I've just added like EQ onto that as well, and reverb, just to give it kind of like that kind of atmosphere and stuff like that. Then there's some gunshots before they enter the building. That was again made with wind, focusing on kind of the higher mids and frequencies of the sound. And then there's some distortion on it as well to kind of give it that proper gun sound effect. What else is there in this? Then there's kind of a fire sound which was made by. Hold on, I can't remember how I made it. One sec. I've got notes here with me. It's a pre-recorded sound of hail hitting a roof. No wonder I can remember how it's recorded because it's an old recording. But yeah, it's hail hitting a roof, and then I've kind of time stretched it a little bit to drag it out, and I've added EQ, delay, distortion, and reverb to kind of give it that sound effect. I also did some panning for it, which I'll find here. It pans more to the left and then back kind of centre when the camera kind of, hold on, let me try and, when it kind of goes to the left and whatnot. Then there's some more gunshots. There's some more gunshots over here. I've tried to pan those as well. and then I've time stretched those as well, just to give it that kind of slow-mo effect. And then over here, when the torch glares, I've added a harmonic on a guitar, kind of EQing that so it focuses on the high frequencies, because obviously it's all high frequency. Well, it's all kind of high frequencies anyway. So it was a bit pointless having the lower frequencies. Also, it had a horrible kind of tapping noise as well, so I EQ'd that. And then what else is there? There's a ticking noise as well, which was made by rubbing a drumstick on the top of a condenser mic, a bare condenser mic with no foam over it or anything, giving it this kind of horrible jagged sound. And then I've kind of time stretched that, added reverb onto it, and then I've EQ'd it a little bit, just to give it kind of an atmospheric sound, because I wasn't too sure what to do for this bit at the end with the room. Excuse me, you can probably hear my headphones. But yeah, I added that just as kind of like background noise. And then when the clown, it kind of spins around to the clown, I've added some wind, followed by the heartbeat sound again, which was made by wind. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's made by wind focusing on the lower frequencies. I have mentioned that. And then the last sound in it is a violin sound, which I've pitched down. I've added a slight phase to it using a phaser. I've compressed it a little bit, and then I've EQ'd, sweeping the higher frequencies out of it, just to kind of alter the sound. And yeah, I think that's everything. Oh no, it's not. There's a glass sound effect. How could I miss that? That's my best one. There's a glass sound effect. If it'll play, well, the movie's not playing for some reason. Yeah, there's a glass sound effect when the glass. There we go. Glass sound effect when the glass smashes, and that was done by jangling keys, and then time stretching those. I also reversed it to give it that kind of sweeping sound effect as it pans from right to left. And then I've added just EQ, delay and reverb. Again, adding that kind of gloomy atmosphere to it. Then with the score, I've altered it a little bit. In particularly when it goes down the corridor, I kind of added a high pass filter just to let the low frequencies in and everything. And yeah, that's my Foley sound. If I was to do this again, it probably would have been good of me to learn Logic, so I could have done some funky stuff with automation instead of doing it to individual tracks. I also probably would have gone out and got the sounds. What I mean is like gone and got some more interesting sounds instead of sticking with literal sounds like police sirens, laughing and screaming. I probably would have gone to a factory or something and recorded some kind of industrial sounds and then altered that. I probably would have done some stuff like Ben Burtt did in Star Wars, like messing around with untraditional objects, trying to achieve sounds from that. And yeah, this is my Foley.